After a brief lunch stop at Cardenas Beach a few miles upstream, our rafting trip made camp for a layover day just above Nevills Rapid, which is seen in this panorama. Nevills Rapid was named in honor of Norman Nevills, who was a pioneer in commercial boating through the Grand Canyon from 1938 through 1949. Nevills Rapid is created by the outwash from 75 Mile Creek. You can see the large debris delta of 75 Mile Creek from the top of the rapid and downstream about 100 yards. 75 Mile Creek is a long, dry creek bed which begins at the saddle on Tanner Trail about 1,700 feet below Lipan Point. The lower half of 75 Mile Creek is a slot canyon with several nice twists and turns. The Escalante route intersects 75 Mile Creek at about 3/4 of a mile above the mouth of the canyon. 75 Mile Creek makes for a nice side hike to get one's feet back on the ground after several days of boating. Above the rapid and slightly to the left is Solomon Temple, which rises to 5,121 feet. 4 miles downstream, high on the horizon, and on the south rim, one can see Zuni Point with an elevation of 7,278 feet. One point of interest which I stumbled upon as I walked back to camp were the remains of an old mining prospect. Looking closely at the highlighted area, one can see a large rock cairn marking a section where the talus slope below has been dug out.
When Ken Staley photographed this panorama, he climbed up to the face of a cliff of Chenumel quartzite, which is the same formation we see across the Colorado River from here, slanting down from left to right. Upstream from here, the Colorado has been flowing through the Docks Formation, just above the Chenumel. Through the docks, which erodes away easily, the inner canyon opened up with wide vistas up to both the north and south rims. Here, where the river enters the Chenumel, the inner canyon narrows dramatically, with steep cliffs rising up from the far side of the river. And just a bit further downstream, the river enters the Granite Gorge, where the extremely hard, very resistant Vishnu complex rocks keep the river confined to a tight, narrow gorge for many miles to come. When you are ready to move on, you can follow the Escalante route to a panorama point deep in the twists and turns of the slot canyon of 75 Mile Creek, where sheer walls of the Chenumel crowd in on all sides. Heading downstream, we follow the Escalante route 3/4 of a mile to the mouth of Papago Creek and a panorama point at the foot of the Papago Wall, where the route scrambles 40 feet up to begin a bypass around another big cliff of Chenumel quartzite, now on our side of the river.